can you picture like a really religious Jewish wigger? Like, can you imagine what that looks like? Just like black accent, but also like playing a fiddle or whatever.
Welcome to This Is Not Happening presents World of Blunder. If you've never been to the show before, it's just a bunch of comics telling fun stories about real shit that happened. Ladies and gentlemen, my friend and yours, Mr. Moshe Kasher, everybody.
Hi, everybody. So, I am a Jew. I'm a Jew. Makes that guy in particular very upset. You're, like, literally what the Nazis were thinking about. I couldn't be. No, dude, please not like this. No. Just come from back here. I'm a Jew, and that pisses some people off sometimes. So, listen. People sometimes can't separate the Jew from the Israel. And like, I get it on a certain level, you know. Israel's a strange place, and it's got some strange policies. There's problems in Israel way beyond the Palestinian conflict. There's problems because everyone else in Israel is a fucking Jew. Can you imagine what that society seems like? It's okay. I'll give you an example. I went to Israel to do comedy, and there's a comedy club in Jerusalem called the Off the Wall Comedy Club. Get it? Because there's like a big wall there or whatever. And I went, and here's the thing about the Off the Wall Comedy Club. It's run by a guy named David Klimnik, who is the self-styled king of English-speaking stand-up comedy in Jerusalem, which, to be fair, is an incredibly small kingdom. It's a very tiny little kingdom. And mostly his clientele is like American students who went to Israel to try, their parents sent them to seminary to like get their shit together because they were like into drugs, but also like they're super religious. Like, can you picture like a really religious Jewish wigger? Like, can you imagine what that looks like? Just like black accent, but also like playing a fiddle or whatever. Like. So that's like their main clientele, the Off the Wall Comedy Club or whatever. And his rule is, because it's all these religious people, is you can't swear at all. No swearing. And you can't do anything dirty. You got to be super squeaky clean. So, okay. At the time, my closer, I had one closer, and I couldn't. You need a closer as a comedian. And my closer was this. It was actually also a travel story. It was a story about when I went to France. I went to France, and it goes like this. I only knew 2 phrases in the entire French language. Actually, the truth is I knew 1 phrase, but I thought at the time that I knew 2. Like the one I had down pat was parlez-vous anglais? That's super important. That means, hey, you speak English? Which is how you should say it if you ever get a chance to go to France. It makes them feel very loved and respected if you talk to them like that. Like, hey, you speak English? Hey! They like it. But the other phrase I thought I knew, but it turns out I didn't know so well, was, no parlez-vous français, which I thought meant, I don't speak French. But that actually means, you don't speak French. And the French were, like, super not into that at all. Be in a store like, hey, Jacques, how much for this baguette brie beret thing you got over here? Oh, you don't speak French. Excusez-moi, monsieur, parle français. Okay, WTF, dude. You don't speak French. Fucking cut that shit out. Sacré bleu, monsieur. Parlez français. You don't speak French. You French faggot. But then I had to ask myself, like, dude, why are you so angry and homophobic? You can't talk to people like that, man. You can't call people faggot in France. It's pronounced faggot. All right, so that's the joke, okay? And that was my big closer at the time, but I couldn't tell it because it's got that big F-bomb at the end of it. And so I had to think of a clean version of the joke. And so I came up with this, which I was pretty proud of. I came up with, you don't speak French, you French piece of crap. But you can't say that, man. You can't call people piece of crap in France. It's pronounced crepe. Which, okay, it's a little softer, but fuck you for the judgment. I was pretty proud of it. It's a bread-to-bread conversion. They're both They're both carb-based punchlines. Do you understand how sophisticated a substitution that is? I was super proud of it. So I get out on stage at the Off the Wall Comedy Club. You piece of crap, crepe. They laugh. David Klimnik comes up to me after the show. People love it. You know, I'm doing so well. People are throwing their yarmulkes in the air. Like they're super into it. Klimnik comes up to me after the show. It's like, what do you think, buddy? He's like, yeah, it was good. It was good. You can't say crap at my club. I go, crap? You should have heard the original punchline. It was faggot. And he goes, oh, no, faggot's okay. Faggot's okay. I don't know, somewhere in his weird religious mind, that was okay. So that's a thing about Israel that has nothing to do with the conflict. But sometimes people can't help but conflate Israel and the conflict. And I understand, but also I'm not... Okay, I went to Australia after that trip. I went to Australia to do comedy. I get off, they pick us up at the airport. And it's me and Hannibal Buress, who's a black comedian. That's important only for the punchline of this story, which is that the woman picks us up and she's like, you know, I don't do voices, but she's like, hey, good day, or whatever. And me and Hannibal are like, what's up with eating kangaroos? That's what we're about. We're Americans. We want to know about eating kangaroos. That's all we need to know about. And she's like, oh, it's great, mate. You know, you eat it because the kangaroo is lean protein, and also it's good for the environment to eat the kangaroo because we've wiped out their natural predators. And me and Hannibal were like, oh, really? What's that? She's like, the Aborigines. Oh, the human being group? The human-ass beings? Okay, yes. Okay, fair enough. So I go do my shows, and I do a lot of Jew references, and this dude comes up to me after one of the shows, and he's like kind of like a little like hip hop fella, but Australian, you know what I mean? So you're kind of like, get out of here, you don't know what you're talking about. And he's like, he walks right up, and he's like, so you're Jewish, huh? Which is already the end of the conversation. Like when somebody approaches you with, so you're Jewish, huh? You're done. Like either there's two options. He's really into Jews, in which case, fucking why? Or he's like really not into Jews, which is what happened and is not a person that I want to have a chat with. And he's like, yeah, you're all into Judaism. You were like big-upping it during your set. I go, big-upping it? Like as in reggae? Is that what you're talking about? And he just keeps going, and I'm like, dude, I don't want to talk to you. He goes, finally he breaks. He's like, what about Israel and the policies with the Palestinians? I'm like, buddy, they never check in with me about those at all. They almost never. I would go a different direction, but they have not called yet. And he just keeps yelling at me, and I'm just, of course, he's Australian, so mentally I'm far beyond him, so I'm able to win the argument, and finally he just screams, I hope there's a second Holocaust and they kill all of you, you greedy bastards! At which case, I feel like I've won the argument. I'm not sure, but I feel strongly when someone screams for a second Holocaust, the Jew has won. He leaves, he storms off. His girlfriend's like, I'm so sorry, and I say something like, this is how I'll always remember Australia, or whatever. Like she's gonna take that to her dusty grave with her or whatever in the outback. So the next day, I come to the club and the manager pulls me aside, the manager of the club, and he's like, dude, I got a story to tell you. We got a phone call today from a young man who said that he lost his wallet in the club last night and he wanted to come down to see if he could find it. He comes down, it's the fucking guy. It's little Hitler. It's the guy. It's little hip-hop Australian Hitler. He comes to the club, he's searching, goes up to the manager, goes, dude, I can't find it. And the manager starts laughing at him. And the guy goes, why are you laughing at me? And he just smiles and goes, karma's a bitch. So I say, give me his email address. Because he left his email address in case they found it. And I wrote him an email that said, my dear sir, if there's anyone, there was $400 in the wallet. That's why he was so upset. I write, my dear sir, if there's anyone who so truly acutely understands the deep loss you must feel from losing $400, it is me, the Jew. Thank you guys a lot.
Moshe Kasher, everybody. Moshe Kasher. That's the story. Thanks, Moshe, for doing it. That was really cool. So last week, I asked you to post your best DJ names from Braunholder's story, and you did, and here's some cool ones that I saw. Next week, I'm going to ask you, because Moshe wasn't allowed to use the words fuck and shit, I want you guys to give me the best non-curse curse words, or even new curse words that I don't even know about. Say what they mean, say where they come from, and I'll read them all, and I'll post the best ones up here next week. Click on the Reddit link to join the discussion for this episode. Follow me on Twitter. And if you're going to hashtag anything on Twitter, hit This Is Not Happening so we can all follow it. Diaz next week, everybody. Joey Diaz. See you next Tuesday.